Hello, long time no see. This is my, second Otome game review of the year? Wow. Probably because I spent a lot of time playing Otome games and I haven't reviewed them all yet, but that's okay. They're all gonna come out sometime soon. But today, this video here is a review on Bustafellows and Bustafellows Season 2. I am focusing on Bustafellows Season 2 because I just played it, but I do touch on Bustafellows 1 as well. And I am in a very silly mood throughout this video when I was recording it, so I don't know. I'm not gonna apologize because I'm just vibing, but it's really it's much sillier than I think some of my other videos. I decided to stream this review, so my chat was also extremely silly, which fed into my silly mood at the time, and I actually added some of the silliness at the very end so you can watch. There's no spoilers, it's just irrelevant silliness, so I didn't include it into the normal review portion of it. But if you want to see some silliness, watch until the end. If you liked Bustafellows, I think you'll laugh. Oh yeah, for those that don't know, this little duck that I'm holding in my hands is my Twitch channel mascot. His name is Scuba, and he's a semi-sentient stuffed animal. He is just sticking around throughout that entire video. Thanks for watching and enjoy! I recently played Bustafellows Season 2, and I had a strong desire to talk about my experience with it. Not even halfway through the game, not to mention I have never talked about Bustafellows, the original season, I guess. Season 1? I don't know. I haven't talked about the original game in any formal capacity, so this is my chance to talk about the series as a whole while discussing the new stories in Bustafellows 2. Bustafellows 1 and Season 2 were made by Extend, and the English localization is published by P-Cube. Both games are available on both Switch and PC, so there are multiple avenues for you to check out the game. PC port has demos. Both game 1 and 2 have demos. If you want to try them out, I recommend that. But first, let me tell you what this game is about. Okay, so the original story of Bustafellows, well, both stories, take place in a fictional United States city called New Sieg. It's basically New York, but fictional. Meh. The game opens with our main character, Teuta, witnessing a famous crooked lawyer, Limbo, get shot to death. It's the guy in the white jacket. Luckily for Limbo, Teuta springs into action. Using her ability to go back into the past for a brief moment, Teuta is in a position to save Limbo's life. The problem is, whenever Teuta goes back to the past, it's in someone else's body. So this leads Teuta to scramble for clues, information, and anyone that might be able to help as fast as possible, as her time travel power only works for a short period of time. And thus, the game begins! You gotta save Limbo, or you can't get to any of these other dudes. The second season of this game takes place after the two epilogues, Full Circle and Auld Sang... Oh god, I can never say it. Auld Lang Syne? Auld Lang Syne?
Auld Lang Syne.
Those two are the names of the two epilogues that unlock after you complete all the good endings for the love interests in the first Bustafellows game. I have very distinct memories of getting to the end of Bustafellows and thinking, that's it? That's where we're ending? This better get a sequel! And so I was, of course, very happy when they announced Bustafellows 2. Honestly, I think most fans had that reaction, like, what? That can't be it! Surely there's more at the end of the first game. Like, how could you not? I'm not going to spoil anything about Bustafellows 1 or Bustafellows 2, but not really anyway. I will spoil the vibes, but that's it. Because of the events in the first game, at the start of Bustafellows Season 2, Teuta isn't in the best place. She is dealing with a lot of emotions and she isn't sure how to move forward, but there are new opportunities for her and each of the boys, and new characters to meet, and new mysteries to solve. So the art in both games was done by Kohaku Sumeragi. One thing I can say confidently about Bustafellows is that the art is very detailed. Each character, especially in the main cast, have a ton of sprites so they can convey whatever emotion or thing they're trying to convey properly. And they also have so many outfits. I love this. Also, the backgrounds are dynamic. I think that's what I would call it. Like, they have their own rigging in scenes so they light up and play videos and all that stuff. It makes the gameplay a bit more immersive, and I really love them. I always talk about how good the background art is in Bustafellows with friends, even like just randomly. It's just not that important when you're talking about a visual novel. I should be talking about these boys here, but I'm like, look at the backgrounds, aren't they beautiful? Also, like you saw in the video just then, you can sometimes see the backside of characters. That doesn't happen a lot in Otome visual novels, or I think just visual novels in general, and I just appreciate the attention to detail in both Bustafellows 1 and Season 2. I don't have much to say about the music. The music is great. The tunes are all just fun little jazzy pieces that fit the mood of the game really well. Okay, so yeah, the music's great. The tunes are mostly just fun little jazzy pieces that fit the mood of the game really well. I'm playing one of the more commonly played pieces now. There are various piano pieces for more emotional moments and some good heart pounding, but in the like, uh-oh, scary music pieces, I don't know how to describe the music more other than it fits the game and didn't annoy me, so that's a thumbs up. I really remember loving the common route in the original Bustafellows. The game would tell you what choice got you closer to the love interest with colors. So like it was like a love catch system, which is really common in Otome games to like let you know that you picked the right option to get to the boy that you want to get to. And so like their colors would match like their character color in this game, obviously. And so it was easy, even if like you don't know like what the character colors are, like their hair color is actually like they have like the tips of their hair is all their character color. So even if you didn't know, it's like it's kind of intuitive in a fun design way, except for Limbo. This is Limbo. His hair is brown with black tips, so you can't really see it, but otherwise it's good. I also love that they make you take a quiz in the common route, kinda. Just taking that quiz basically gets you your answers more or less to determine which route you're going to get. And because you can play this game in any order, there isn't a specific like order that you need to play this game and pick whatever boy you like. I think it's fun to just take the quiz and play whoever you get in that after you take that quiz, basically. The only problem is that you may love that love interest so much that all the others will pale in comparison, but actually I personally find the majority of these love interests to be great, so I don't really have that issue here. There is like a pseudo common route in Bustafellows 2. It's actually quite cute. You choose which love interest route you want by picking the cat's name. There's a cat in they all have a cat. They all chill in a house together. They all live in like a share house together, and they also own a cat. And depending on the cat's name changes based on the route you're in the first game. So in Bustafellows 2, they're like, what is the cat's name? And that's how you pick which guy you want to do first. There's a small sequence of events that like gets you through the common route, but it's like slightly different. It's like the Limbo's version of the common route. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't overstay its welcome, but allows for some good exposition on what has happened in between the first game and the second, and it gets you rolling into the love interest second season quite quickly. The system is it's fun, and honestly it's not that different than any other visual novel, but some of the choices you make in this game, in both games, are timed. I will let you in on a secret though, or like a tip, I guess. Some of the timed choices have no answers, as in you should just let them time out, and I thought that was kind of fun. And when and where that is obviously for you to figure out, but I do like the time choices feature. It like feature because it ups the stakes and sets the mood when things are more tense or just like time sensitive, I guess. Like when someone would judge you if you don't answer quickly, or if you don't answer quickly, you might get shot, that kind of thing. The only real difference between Game 1 and Game 2 is that Bustafellows Season 2's UI is a lot sleeker looking. It looks like it's being run by a high-tech computer, and I felt like that fit the theme and mood of Bustafellows Season 2 really well. Oh yeah, I am going to cover the content warnings in this next slide. And basically I just want to, Bustafellows is basically a crime drama. It is a crime drama with romance on top of it, but it's like the romance is the frosting on the cake, and the actual cake portion is crime drama. So there is some like really serious like stuff happening in this game. And I just want to show the content warnings just so you know whether you want to play the game or not. This can help you inform your decision. If you don't like content warnings because they could be spoilers, just look away for like, I don't know, 10 seconds and come back. I'm going to show them 3, 2, 1. But yeah, I think just the ones underlined are the ones that have a lot of content in it. Otherwise, the rest of them are not so bad. Teuta is the main character. I've already spoken a bit about her, but so yeah, you already know that she has a limited time travel ability, but she is also an up-and-coming journalist for the New Sikh Times. She decided to become a journalist after her brother's mysterious death, making it her goal to find out the truth of what happened to him. Teuta has a ton of personality. She is bright and fun. She adds a lot of energy into the love interest lives, and that help propel their story forward as well, and has a lot of spunk to back her up. Teuta isn't like perfect though. For one, she's really bad at cooking, and two, sometimes Toyota is too bright, leading to her being a little bit naive and maybe too friendly at times. I personally feel like Toyota is like a real person. Like, she has like very apparent flaws. Especially at the start of Bustafellows 1, because she has some problematic takes, but just give her some time to cook. She's gonna learn a little bit, at least. Also, she has a voiced main character, which is not a common thing, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I love having a voiced main character. It adds so much to the games. I will talk about Toyota in Bustafellows Season 2 later on. Yeah, I think Toyota gets a lot of flack in the Otome game community, I think, because she is very much so like a Huckleberry Finn character, in my opinion. Like, she doesn't know a lot about the world. She's very young. She's like 20. She's like somewhere between the ages of 18 and 20. I don't know. She just doesn't know a lot. She has prejudices based on her, like, I don't know, her upbringing, but she learns over the course of this game, and she, becomes a more well-rounded person, is what I would say. I did more or less already talk about the content of this game, that it's a crime drama, but I just to expand before I get into the rest of the love interest and their routes. This is an Otome visual novel, so in all routes there is a romance blooming in the first game, and it is an already established romantic relationship in the second game. However, the actual plot for each of these love interest routes are a lot more crime drama focused. Some of the love interests don't get as much romantic development as the others, simply because the route's plot the plot in their routes are just too complicated for them to get like the same levels. As a note, for these games in general, these routes get really dark. They cover topics ranging from "uh-oh, that's not good" to being speechless in horror. In my opinion. The game writes crime drama pretty well, but they don't skimp on showing the horrors that the crimes being committed can entail. This is actually largely the same in Bustafellows Season 2, but I'll talk about which routes are the most romantic and the most crime drama heavy and all that stuff while I'm talking about each individual dude. Let's go to Limbo. Limbo's character color is black, but my backgrounds are black, so I picked gray for him. So I have talked a little bit about Limbo. He is the guy that dies at the very beginning of the game. He is known to the world as a crooked lawyer who can always get a not guilty verdict for his clients. But is he really a crooked lawyer, or is he just defending people who only appear to be criminals from the perspective of the law? His route in the original game felt pretty similar to just watching a well put together crime drama with some romance mixed in. I found myself drawn to Limbo's confidence, and he has like a go-getter personality. By the end of the route, I found myself really liking Limbo regardless of anything. Like, he's just a good guy. Limbo's route in his first game has a good balance of crime drama to romance. I mostly liked the gradual progression of Toyota going from like friends / coworkers / roommates to lovers. I do personally feel like Limbo, I don't know, there's something about the way Limbo approaches like starting like romance with Toyota that's like, it's a little too cheesy for my tastes. It didn't have enough pizzazz for me, but I don't know, there's side stories in Bustafellows that I thought made up for it. And actually, in Bustafellows 2, this is his outfit in Bustafellows Season 2, I think Limbo has the most romantic route of all the love interests in Season 2. His route kind of circles on Toyota and Limbo's future together, so that in and of itself just made it a lot more romantic than the others. The two have really good communication, and they work together to make the most of their relationship despite their busy schedules. And you can tell how much they really love each other. There is crime drama in this route, don't get me wrong, but it's just not at the same level as any of the other routes. And after completing Limbo's route in Bustafellows 2, I was convinced that this game would be a lighter game because I picked his route first to play. But I was wrong. I was very wrong. Limbo's route is the lightest in both Bustafellows 1 and Bustafellows Season 2. Speaking of darker, let's move on to Mozu. The trailer that I showed earlier says that he's an autopsy specialist, and like, yeah, he's like literally New Sieg's chief coroner, so yeah, he is an autopsy specialist. Anyway, Mozu is definitely this game's kudere. Like, he's very cool and collected, and although he doesn't show much expression on his face and he is on the quieter side, the game writes Mozu quite well. You can tell that he's a really compassionate person. He's really good with animals, and his approach to work makes you realize how much he cares about people and life in general. Mozu's route is quite siloed off from the game's other overarching problems, and so instead you're solving a mystery just for Mozu, essentially. This route really surprised me it was actually the first route I did when playing the first game, as that's who I got when taking the quiz in the common route. I got Mozu, and essentially, I was not expecting it to get as dark as it gets. It's quite the crime drama, to the point where, yes, there are romantic plot points, but solving the mystery takes the forefront of this route. And if you're invested in Mozu and his mystery, like I was, you'll be gripped by the story, and like, I don't know, it didn't bother me that much that it wasn't super romantic. I was like, I need justice for Mozu! The ending was shocking, but and ultimately I think it was a pretty expected conclusion, as at the end of his route, and honestly Mozu was my favorite in the first game. I think largely because his route, it was well paced and written so well. And I wish I could say that for Mozu in Bustafellows Season 2, but saying that I loved his route in the second game is too strong of a word. Not that it isn't well written. The scenario for Mozu's second season route is very creepy, and I was really uncomfortable through a good chunk of the route because it was written to make me feel uncomfortable. So job well done, I guess. I can't really complain about the plot itself because it really was a good gut punch in all the right ways at the right times. There was a lack of growth between Teuta and Mozu. I could tell that they cared about each other, but most of their issues cropped up from communication issues, and that is really like the one thing I cannot stand in like any book or media ever that I read ever. And unfortunately it got to the point where this route was mostly just crime drama and not a lot of romance again. And I was hoping for more, since there isn't much for Mozu in the original game, and he makes a lot of dumb decisions in this route. And why, Mozu? I love you! Why are you stupid? Writers, I really hope there's a season 3 so they can write him better, because I loved him in the first game and I didn't love him very much in the second season. Moving on to the hitman that kills other hitmen, Shu, like his little tagline states, he is a hitman. I know that's surprising. He only kills other assassins though, and since he's basically just a mercenary, he also just deals in being an informant rather than just killing people all the time. I personally expected not to like Shu, because like stoic guys are just not really my thing in Otome visual novels, but Shu blew my expectations away. I completely fell for this guy. His stoic and kind of lazy, laid-back demeanor belies a guy who's just really sweet. He's really caring, which is like not totally unexpected for a stoic type, but the way he shows kindness felt very unique and fresh to me from a love story standpoint. His route balances the romance and crime drama really well, with the crime drama taking over a little bit, but I think it was fine because it's like a slow burn romance throughout the route, and I have a lot of fond memories playing through this route because he was the first character like his like archetype that I actually completely loved. He's great. And his route in Bustafellows Season 2 only served to solidify my love for Shu as a character and his life story as well. This is one of the only routes that directly deals with the plot points that happened in the previous game, and that served to be one of its strong points. The found family vibes hit just right for me, and there are tons of cutesy romantic moments that show just how much Shu cares about Teuta, and vice versa, mixed between some really tense crime drama action. I think this was better paced than his original route. What really got me is the way that Shu shows he cares. Like, even when he's very busy, he goes out of the way to do things that he knows Teuta will specifically like. I don't know why, but it really got me. I think it's because he has like this demeanor that's like, I don't really care, I do what I want, but then he always does nice things for Teuta. So it's like, you do care, you're lying to me. I don't know, I just thought it was great. And next we got Helvetica. I think the trailer says that Helvetica is like the master of disguise, and like I suppose that he is, but really he is a popular plastic surgeon and he prioritizes aesthetics above most things. I think Helvetica is a bit more controversial as a character simply because he's kind of a bitch. Okay, I don't mean kinda. He's like actually just a bitch at times. He doesn't have the best personality on the surface, and his route does a great job of showing exactly why Helvetica acts the way that he does, in a way that invokes understanding and sympathy towards his characters, but he's still kind of, he's just... He's got a difficult personality to deal with at times. Like, he won't drive the car. He doesn't say goodbye when hanging up the phone. He just hangs up. Like, bro, what the fuck? His route is 100% the angstiest in the game. Both games, probably. And they both cover some very heavy topics. So brace yourself going in. Like every route, the romantic parts of Helvetica's route, they're presented in a way that feels like the scene was right out of a crime drama, I guess, which is a good thing, melding the two themes of Bustafellows. Like, it's romantic, but in a criminal way. I don't know how else to put it. Overall, I really like Helvetica, and I came to respect him for who he is at the end of his route. But if I were to meet him in real life, I would probably avoid him. He is a lot, in my opinion. I really did enjoy his route, just not the romantic aspects of it. I wasn't very convinced of Teota and Helvetica's relationship in the first game. Bustafellows 2 busted down my door to prove me otherwise. Why did I write that? This route was really felt written for the players like me who are like, I don't know. I think Helvetica will just break up with Teota at some point. Yeah, this route is like, oh no, he's never letting Teota go, ever. The length that this man is willing to go for that girl is kind of crazy. But it was also an effective way of proving his love to Teota and the audience. Not that Teota was concerned, but I was. The route, again, does a good job of melding the crime drama with the romance while still having a few fluffy moments before shit hits the fan. Honestly, I do wonder if most of this plot could have been avoided because Teota is really dumb in this route, in my opinion. Like, dumber than most of these routes, but, like, whatever. I was here for the ride, and I was thoroughly entertained. I still think Helvetica's a bitch, but at least he's endearing now to me. Last, but not least, certainly not least, we have Scarecrow! Kuno-chan! Crow-chan! He is the self-proclaimed boss of the underworld. He is a master hacker who seems to have a big presence online, but very few people have met him in person. And this is obvious as soon as you meet him. Crow is young and very friendly, but he is also very awkward around Teota at first because he spends most of his time as a shut-in. Also, he is, like, filthy rich, so the whole gang lives at his giant mansion, which makes things easier for, like, story progression and working together to bring justice to the world. That sort of thing. Crow is seriously so much fun. Even though Crow's route covers some very heavy topics, Crow's route is like, it like actually affects Teota, where most of the conflict is just affecting the love interest and not Teota. So if you're someone that like plays an Otome game and pictures yourself in the main character's shoes, I just want to warn you of that. Like, it's something that actually affects Teota. Otherwise, you know, I'm just going to stop myself now because I don't want to actually spoil the plot. But just as a warning. Anyway, Crow, regardless of that, I think you'll be able to get over it because Crow's the best. He is kind, he's friendly, he always wants to hang out with his friends, he's loyal to his friends, he's quick to help out whenever someone in the gang needs anything. Also, Teota and Crow have a very similar, excitable personality that both, like, they mesh really well with each other. And I feel like Crow was the best suited for Teota in Bustafellows 1, anyway. His route in Bustafellows 2, it's quite similar, honestly. Crow is someone I would want to be friends with in real life. He's seriously so much fun, and his kindness really shines through in every route. The main topic of his own route will likely hit home for a lot of you playing this game. It is, like, I don't think it's the darkest route in the game, like, graphically. Like, nothing is shown graphically, but what is said, like what's written on the screen is like, ooh, it's pretty bad. It covers a topic that even I am uneasy with. I think the way they handle it was quite nice. It was a really great route with the messaging of the route, like the message they were trying to tell, and seeing Crow grow into somewhat of a superhero himself, because he likes superheroes. Seeing him grow into one while balancing learning how he can grow his relationship with Teota, it's like exactly like what I would want from a season 2 love interest route. It was great. I'm going to talk about the side characters. The side characters are incredibly important for Bustafellows. Some, if not all of them, are just as important to the story as the main characters, and most of the recurring side characters have the same level of story depth. For both games, the side character stories are expanded on in the epilogue of the game, and the original Bustafellows epilogue left many players feeling like they wanted more, as the story conclusion felt a little rushed or unfinished. I didn't find this to be the case in Bustafellows 2, though. The epilogue was a lot longer than I anticipated it being, and really explains and concludes the overarching mystery of Bustafellows Season 2 quite effectively, and it concludes some stuff that was left unsaid Bustafellows 1 as well. All the side characters get their story, the mystery is understood, and while things are left a little unsaid for potential further games, I wasn't left with quite so many questions, and I appreciate that from the writers. However, look at this guy. He reminded me of someone the whole time that I was playing Bustafellows Season 2, and suddenly it dawned on me. It's that guy. He reminds me of that guy. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm going to talk about Teota again. I have a lot to say about Teota, actually, as from Season 2's perspective. Personality-wise, Teota at her core is the same in Bustafellows Season 2. She wants to write interesting stories that will make people think. She wants to help people that need it. She loves eating, she's excitable and fun. But there's something different about Toyota this time. Yes, Toyota was always quick to help people in Game 1, but she never seemed to recklessly help someone without consulting someone else or stopping to think for a second. And also, yeah, she would go get drinks with her friends every Friday night, but she rarely drank to the point of blacking out. I don't know, it's like, ooh. Now, this could just be a matter of writing her slightly differently, but I actually think this is a slight change in Toyota's character that can go unnoticed as a purposeful decision. Toyota's beliefs and view of the world are completely flipped upside down at the end of Bustafellows 1, and we see her not doing very well emotionally at the beginning of Bustafellows 2 as a result of this. When we see her drinking too much, it's mostly at points in the game where she's remembering how things used to be, or like she wishes her situation was different, and she appears to me to be coping. Not well, but she's coping, quotation marks. And her dumb decisions in helping people without a second thought, I think this is coping as well. While I don't have a concrete proof of this, I do feel like this is like her way to make amends with herself mentally for not doing anything to help her past situations, even though she didn't even know some of these past situations were going on. And this line of thought leaves Toyota in some pretty awful circumstances throughout this game. And I think she gets some closure in the epilogue, but not fully because, more trauma, of course. Well, I don't know about more trauma is not the word. I think she gets some closure, but not fully. I have seen some criticism that Toyota is different in Bustafellows 2, and the fact is she is different, and I think that it's because she's poorly coping with her mental health struggles. She really needs help, and honestly, it kind of made me like Bustafellows more because it just shows how human she is again. She doesn't feel like a self-insert, she really feels like her own character, and I really, really, really like that. She makes mistakes, she's over-trusting, she's a little naive, she's also grieving and doesn't know how to cope with it and doesn't want to talk about it either, but she's still bright and wants to do some good in the world. I know this sounds like a rant. It is a rant. It kind of just, to me, it just feels like you don't get her like I do, because I think that is what I'm saying. But I do think Toyota grew a lot from this game. She's a lot less prejudiced. She's a lot more open-minded, and that's really good. But she needs a therapist. She really needs a therapist. And I feel bad for her. But yeah, that actually leads me to my final leg of this review. First, I'm going to give awards for Best Boy and Best Route, and then I will give my final thoughts on Bustafellows Season 2. I'm going to start with Best Route. For my Best Route, it's probably not that surprising. The award is going to Scarecrow! Although I liked everyone's route in this game, except for Mozu's. Sorry, Mozu. I decided Scarecrow's was my favorite because of the pacing, and the main topics of this route were incredibly relevant to the world we live in. Some parts felt very realistic, and some were a bit fantastical, but everything worked well together in the end, while also feeling quite romantic with Toyota at times. He is green flags all around. His route in the first and second game cover really heavy topics, but Crow himself is so bright and fun that it adds the very needed levity to his routes. If Scarecrow were a real dude, I would want to be friends with him. He's just great. However, his hair is still a mystery to me. I don't know how it works. So he has it pulled back here, but he has his hair goes down to here in a weird bob thing, but then back here he has it all swooped off to the side and it's all the same length, or it's not. I don't know how it works. It's confusing to me and it doesn't matter. Best Boy is, also probably not surprising, it's Shu. I couldn't decide whether the Best Boy would be Shu or Scarecrow for a while, but when I was going through the screenshots I took of the game, Shu had way more. And thinking on it more, it had to be Shu. To be real, I feel sad that Mozu was dethroned, as I still love Mozu, but the writers need to stop doing him dirty. Shu's way of showing that he loves Toyota really hit me in my feels. His character growth and lore expansion throughout his route also hit me in my feels, and having him around in all the other routes was just great. He has great quippy one-liners, and I just like having him there. I also played through Shu's route so quickly. I kind of wish I had savored it more, but I was just having too much fun. I barely have to say this, honestly. I'm sure you know, but yeah, I loved this game. I had a great time playing it, and I couldn't put it down. I played it through really fast. Part of the reason I played through it really fast was because I broke my foot and I didn't have much else to do. So, but I think I would have played through this game quite quickly regardless. I had a lot of fun returning to the city of New Sieg and getting to be a part of this gang's life again. I think the picture exemplifies what I like so much about Bustafellows. Everyone is friends! I really like that the gang all very obviously like each other, and in Bustafellows 2, they even sometimes refer to them each other as like family at times, and it just made my heart explode a little. I know found family is an overused trope nowadays, but I just love it here. It just works for me. They all seem like super independent people, but they always get like dinner together and they hang out all the time. I just love it. Also, a few of these boys are getting therapy, and I was like, wait, what? An Otome love interest is getting therapy? That's literally unheard of. Talk about character growth. We gotta get Teuta on it too. Yeah, and also, like, it's a complete aside, but I love that the social media accounts for Bustafellows, they really feed you, if you're a fan of this game, with like snapshots of these bros and Teuta just hanging out, and they go to Kyoto and Okinawa, and the artist, like, will draw them in situations. It's so much fun. If you've made it this far and you're still following along and you haven't played Bustafellows 1, I think you should give the demo a try if you're at least a little interested. These games are most certainly not everyone's cup of tea, but on the other hand, I do think it has something for everyone to a certain degree. The first game is not super romance heavy, so I think it's a good game for people looking to dip their toes into Otome games, or just like visual novels in general. For Bustafellows Season 2, obviously I think you're gonna like it if you liked the first game, and you should not play this if you have not played the first game. Unfortunately, if you are a Mosey fan like me, I regret to inform you, he does get done a little dirty, but all the other love interests have really great routes. And you're going to get very, very cute romantic scenes with each of the love interests, and that was worth it. Oh, I haven't talked about this either. Like, Bustafellows 1 doesn't have much spice, and neither does Bustafellows Season 2, but there's more spice. There's a lot more, like, woo, spicy scenes. And I was like, why is this artist so good at drawing things like this? And then I realized that the artist is usually an eroge author, or artist, so I think that's why. But, anyway, I am very curious to see what the future holds for Bustafellows. The developers are still making content for this game, and they announced a mobile game that doesn't involve the game, so I'm not sure what is going to be next for Bustafellows, but I don't think it's the end. I'm actually really hoping that the sister game to Bustafellows, Sidekicks, gets an English localization, but we'll see, we'll see. And that's the game. I liked it. I like this game. Thank you for getting this far into the video. I'm going to cut to the silly parts at the end very briefly, but I just want to say thank you so much for watching all of this. That means a heck of a lot to me. I have at least one more Otome review planned on this year. It's taken me a lot to emotionally write all my feelings down about it. I think it will be worth it to get all of my feelings out, so the next time you see me, hopefully sometime in late November or early December, you'll see another Otome review. But until then, enjoy this goofy aside that I had while I was reviewing Bustafellows. Bye! They all live together, all 5. Yeah, they all live together. But they also all own their own apartments, and it's really weird. except for Scarecrow. He owns the house that they all live in. So that's how you Bustafellows, yeah. They don't get jealous though of each other, no. No, not in each other's routes. Like, you can tell, like, that they all like each other a lot. And I think that's one of the most endearing parts of the game. I'll get to it later, though. And they were all roommates. That would be really nice if they gave me a why choose option, because I actually like all these dudes, but they don't. It's probably better for Teuta, the main character, because I don't think she could handle it. Honestly, I think she couldn't handle it. Not that these dudes couldn't handle it. I think they would be fine with it, actually. I just don't think she would be. 5 dudes in a polycule and add a girl. Yeah, she get in an apartment with 5 dudes, and that's how you Bustafellows. Yeah, that's how you Bustafellows. And add a girl for garnish.